Welcome into Duval Daily, presented by GenJag.com. I'm Jordan DeLugo. Thank you so much for tuning in here on Thursday, November 7th. Right now, what if the Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Minnesota Vikings? That's what we're going to talk about here. The game previews, I think, have gotten a little bit stale, so we're going to talk about this game in a way that we're looking at what if the Jaguars do beat the Vikings? B, what does it mean? How could they get there, right? We're going to talk about all that stuff. The Jaguars, they have not won many games this year. 2-7. 2-7. Who would have thought entering this season the Jaguars would have been this poor, right? They have been really, really close the last 2 weeks against very good football teams. But close doesn't cut it. Close does not cut it. And the more you look at those two games, the less encouraging they really are, right? Like, you couldn't slow down Malik Willis's offense in the second half against the Packers. Only reason you were really in the game against the Eagles is because the referees gifted you a Trayvon Walker touchdown. And take nothing away from Trayvon. That was an unbelievable play by him. But I don't think it was a Saquon Barkley fumble in the first place. So, yeah. Can they beat the Vikings? And if they can, what does it mean? That's what we're going to talk about. What if the Jaguars beat the Vikings, y'all? How will it make y'all feel? Let me know in the comment section below. Looking at how this could possibly happen, which I don't think it will. I always have to preface these things and continue to reiterate. I don't believe this is going to happen. I have the Vikings winning this game. But the Jaguars are at home. They got those white helmets. Who knows? Maybe they feel a little mojo, look good, play good, feel good, whatever. Trevor Lawrence. Any way you slice it, he is playing at a top 10 level in the NFL at the quarterback position. Literally like right around 10, in my opinion, right now. Whether it's the eye test, adjusted EPA, PFF grades, no matter how you look at it, he's right there, top 10, right around the top 10. So is he playing elite football? No. Is anyone on this football team really playing their very best right now? No. But he's gutsy. He's throwing the best deep ball in the league for the second straight year. He's moving well. I believe he'll play in this game. Has the shoulder, left shoulder, non-throwing shoulder. To me, the reason I think he'll play is because this is a football team. Even though they're 2-7, they're not mathematically eliminated. If they get hot and go on a run, which we have seen them do every single year under Doug Peterson at some point. Again, I still don't think that's going to happen. But could they believe in the building that might happen? Maybe. I think that they're still playing for everything right now, at least within the building. Like, that's how they're looking at this. Trying to get to 3-7, trying to go on a run, right? Even if there isn't unison and a shared vision and a lot of cohesion within that locker room, within that building right now, everyone still knows like their best chance of moving forward and having a positive outlook beyond 2024 is trying to win football games. So I believe he'll play. I do. You look at this defense though, man. Jonathan Grenard, Andrew Van Ginkel, they are both balling. Two guys they brought in this year. Dallas Turner, who they gave up the farm to go get, is off to a slow start as a pass rusher. But Grenard and Van Ginkel are both getting it done. Ivan Pace is an absolute demon blitzing. Blake Cashman is balling out. Took two guys from the Texans who really made a big impact last year, Grenard and Cashman, and said, yeah, we can use those guys in this Brian Flores defense. And I think the Texans might miss them a little bit, to be honest with you. Strong run defense. Very strong run defense. Brian Flores is doing a fantastic job coaching these guys. And I know some folks have asked about Brian Flores as potential Jags head coach. I think, he's sued the NFL. He didn't really show much support of Tua when he was the Dolphins head coach. There's a couple things that make me a little worried, but he is a hell of a football coach. There's no question about it. He's going to blitz you. He's going to make it look like he's coming, then drop guys. He's going to try to confuse you. And he, in doing so, and having a somewhat complex defense, he coaches it so well that his guys still know where to be, when to be there, and how to execute these fairly complex ideas at times, right? So he is a great coach, and Press Taylor, Doug Peterson, they've got their work cut out for them. But the defense for the Vikings, it is not impenetrable through the air. Like if you can ID and respond to what they're doing, their coverage guys are not superlative at this point, right? They're not. Like you got Stephon Gilmore, who Jaguars could use right now, but not one of the top corners in the league at this point. And then you have Byron Murphy, Cam Bynum, Shaquille Griffin. Uh, their linebackers aren't like aces in coverage. Blake Cashman's pretty good, but there's chinks in the armor on the back end. It's just difficult to get to those consistently against this Brian Flores defense. So, and they're averaging like allowing 3.8 yards per carry, less than 90 yards a game on the ground. So that's probably not going to be the way you beat them. So it's probably going to be on Trevor Lawrence, Brian Thomas Jr., Evan Ingram, a little bit of Gabe Davis, maybe Brenton Strange. They decided they didn't want to see him on the field much last week. It's going to be the passing game. Unfortunately, the Vikings defense just has been stellar against the run. And, maybe the Jags can get it going. I mean, Tank Bigsby is a difficult runner to get to the ground. We'll see, but I think it's going to have to be a lot through the air, not only based on the defense they're playing, but also potentially based on game script. Defensively for the Jaguars, Ryan Nielsen, he has to bring his top stuff. We all know that probably won't happen. Haven't seen that much this year, have we? But if he does, if he's able to, kick Eric Armstead inside, get Josh Hines Allen, Trayvon Walker, and Armstead on the field at the same time more often. Get these corners playing just a little bit better outside of Tyson Campbell. Maybe the safety's actually being able to read something, right? You limit some of the Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison show down the field, slow down Aaron Jones a little bit. Take it to Cam Robinson. Josh Hines Allen versus Cam Robinson. Big time there. Maybe have Sam Darnold seeing ghosts somehow. If you do all those things and you get this win, which again I do not believe is going to happen, just outlining the path to it happening, what does it actually mean? What does it actually mean? We'll talk about it. First, got to remind y'all to check out Underdog Fantasy for Pick'em, Best Ball, a whole lot more. You can use code DuvalDaily on their easy-to-use mobile app or UnderdogFantasy.com, and they will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. This season, Underdog is running a special promo or bonus almost every single day, like profit boosts. You can pump up your winnings in just a tap when you apply the boost to eligible entries. There's tons of options for Jaguars and Vikings. Trevor Lawrence, maybe you feel like he's going to have a big-time football game. Maybe you don't. Maybe you want to take Tank Bigsby to score a touchdown or Aaron Jones to score a touchdown. Underdog has vulture protection for running backs to rescue your pick'em. You make the call on Underdog. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code DuvalDaily to claim your new customer special of a free pick and your deposit offer. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona 1-800-NEXT-STEP. That's 1-800-639-8783 or text NEXT STEP to 53342. New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. So what does it mean if the Jaguars win this game? Probably nothing. In all honesty, probably nothing. I would be impressed. Don't get me wrong. I would be impressed. The Vikings, they're a well-coached, talented, good football team. Both sides of the ball, very well coached. Kevin O'Connell, very good head coach. I think he has the finger on the pulse of the locker room, and he's also a great offensive designer. Brian Flores, we talked about. Just a good football team, 6-2. Their only losses are to the Rams in LA under questionable circumstances, and then to the Detroit Lions. They lost by like 2 points against the Lions. So, yeah, I mean, they beat the snot out of the Giants and the Texans. They've beaten the Packers and the 49ers. They also beat the Jets and the Colts. 6-2. So you beat the Vikings. You get to 3-7. Very little chance to make the wild card statistically still. I mean, unless like every team ahead of you that is not winning their division loses this upcoming week, then you have like a little bit of a glimmer there at the wild card, but it's unlikely. The Jaguars are at the bottom of the AFC. They're 2-7 right now. But get to 3-7, get some help in the old schedule there in terms of the Week 10 NFL schedule. Get some of these teams losing. And I don't see that happening, but maybe you start to look at the playoff picture a little bit. I think it's crazy to think that way, but this is the what if game. And the Texans are still 6-3 in your division. So, I mean, are they a team that's ripe to potentially fall apart? Maybe. I mean, I think D'Amico's a very good coach. I think that they can get this thing figured out to the point where they don't completely collapse the way the Jaguars did last year or the way the Titans did the year before that. We'll see. We'll see how the Texans finish it out. And really the biggest thing is, even if you win this game and get to 3-7, you have to go to Detroit next week. That might be the biggest buzzsaw in football right now. Jameson Williams coming back. That ain't gonna be easy. So honestly, winning this game alone would do very little to change anything. Might give them a little bit of a confidence boost in the building. But if you win this game and you beat Detroit, you're 4-7. You have a date with Houston. Then we can talk, right? Then you can start to talk about that. Again, I don't think any of this is going to happen, but I'm giving you that what if scenario because, you know, folks need a little bit of hope every once in a while, right? I think the Jaguars' biggest hope is for the future, building around the guys they have, using that draft capital, free agency money, Shad Khan's checkbook to not only bring in a good GM and coach, but go sign some guys as well. I think they're headed for 2-9 after these next two games. And, you know, complete teardown of the coaching staff and front office. But that's how I view it. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. If you enjoy the content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You can also check out genjag.com/shop, pick up some new Duval gear, become a channel member here on YouTube. Y'all have a good one.